Is the United States bankrupt? Is America itself going to have to go through what amounts to a foreclosure? The United States' unfunded liabilities or future commitments currently stand at a staggering $113 trillion, which when you consider our total national assets are worth around $78 trillion, is truly a scary figure. My name is Damon Vickers. I've been an investor for over 25 years, and when I consider the raw facts and current trends, we should be very concerned. The debt-to-income ratio for America is so bad that we soon won't even be paying the debt service on the previous debt we owe. We're the leader of the global economy. The dollars and U.S. debts in dollars are what's called the world's reserve currency, accounting for more than 70% of most central bank reserves. Because all banks in the world hold U.S. dollars as the majority of their reserves, the United States is able to simply print more money whenever it cannot afford to pay for something. Should the U.S. dollar be dropped as the world's reserve currency, then the value of U.S. dollars will plummet, leaving the U.S. hopeless, with no ability to service its colossal debt. Debt cripples nations and empires alike. This is what happened to the Romans, the Spanish, the Ottoman, and the British empires.
Bill Gross is preparing for an end to the 3-decade rally in treasuries.
And there's recent evidence that the foreign central banks that have been enabling America's debt addiction and dollar reserve Ponzi scheme are about to stop. So what happens when something that experts say can never change does, in fact, come to an end? The result is usually a painful and sometimes cataclysmic change, like the collapse of U.S. stocks in 1929 or the collapse of Asian economies in 1998. Possibility of a 3,000 to 4,000 point down day in front of us.
Stocks hit their lowest levels in 12 years as AIG posts the biggest quarterly loss in history.
You're going to see a profound number of companies go bankrupt.
General Motors will file for bankruptcy protection.
And AIG teetering on the brink of bankruptcy.
Hedge fund manager Damon Vickers says no matter how Lehman tries, Lehman is finished.
This is absolutely stunning.
The dollar will utterly get destroyed.
It dropped below 81 for the first time since 1995. We have not seen these levels in about 15 years.
When you buy a bond, what are you buying? Basically, you're buying a pledge from someone to pay you money in the future. You're making a loan, like when a bank makes a loan to you to buy a house, or you loan money to a friend you trust to pay you back. You are buying a promise from the United States government, which basically means a promise from U.S. politicians.
You know, we all know politicians are always fudging the truth.
He's got him.
I did not have.
Those charges are utterly false.
Is this a good investment? It all depends on how much you trust the person who's making the promise. Would you really pay, say, $970,000 today for a promise from U.S. politicians to pay you $1 million a full year from now for a $30,000 profit? If you think that a promise from a U.S. politician is truly solid, then that's a pretty good deal. I don't agree. And I'm afraid you're going to be very disappointed. But if you agree with me that lending money or buying promises from U.S. politicians is kind of like lending money to Bernie Madoff, then you should be very wary of paying anything at all in exchange from what amounts to a paper IOU from the U.S. Treasury and the Fed. As an investor who's made it through the crash in tech stocks and the collapse of the housing and banking sectors before, I've put a lot of thought into how to protect my own family and our investors from the possibility of a U.S. bond meltdown. If you visit DamonVickers.com, you can view my team's powerful investment reports. They contain facts and insights too valuable to pass up, information that could make the difference for your portfolio, your retirement, or your children's future. I want to share this valuable information with you. Access it right now at DamonVickers.com.